All right, this is for Heart Shape Beauty Day 27. This is your last of your mini 10-minute routines. This is routine number 7, and I'm calling this the multi-floor. Your optional equipment are ankle weights, okay? Your ankle weights are going to be the best bet for this, and I would actually advise you to use the ankle weights regardless of whether you think you're advanced enough to do it or not, okay? Because these exercises are not going to be like a fatigue or I'm sorry, injury prone. They're not heavy loaded ones where, you know, going too heavy or loading up too early could cause injury. This will just be a good way to sort of do a burnout. You know, you could start out with ankle weights and then drop it down and do it without ankle weights as well. So don't be afraid to strap on those ankle weights if you have them. All right, so we're going to start with our 2-minute warm up and with a 2-minute stretch. I'm going to start the clock at our 15:45 interval. And the first warm up, or the first exercise is our warm up. I'm calling these the 90-90 half opens. So if you get into your 90-90 position or relative, what we want to do is try to keep square, okay? If you can't keep square, don't worry about it. The most important thing is we want to do is keep our back hip down, okay? So put some pressure on it, and then we're going to take our back knee and try to open that up, okay? So you're putting a little resistance on it, and then you're coming back down. And square up, okay? And then try to give it a little resistance, okay? So this is pretty intense. I have apparently like zero mobility. If you're worse off than I am, not a problem. If you're way ahead of me, good for you. If you could go, oh my goodness, and the bottom of my feet are so dirty too. Sorry about that. Pull that leg down. So 90-90 as much as possible. Square up. Feel the difference between both sides. Okay, because we always want to work on our mobility and mobility imbalances. Okay, strength is one thing, mobility is another. Both are important. I always say it's mobility before strength. In this month, we're definitely trying to strengthen the glutes. Anytime you can work on the mobility around the hip joints, that's going to take you way further, okay? Anytime I worked on my mobility, the payoff has been the greatest. Okay. Holy Jesus, that kind of gives me the shakes. Okay, wag the tail. Okay, these were some of my favorite floor exercises. So wag the tail. I act like I don't even know what I wrote for myself. All right, wag the tail. So all of these were going to be on our quadruped position, I believe. Wag the tail is where we're taking our one leg, extending it. Go ahead and point the toes, keep it long. We're starting from the top and we're going to dip it down like grazing the floor and come up on the other side, okay? And so you'll get a peak contraction at each high point, but working a slightly different area of the glutes. Keep your core on, keep your stomach sucked in, okay? So you want to just graze the floor, okay? You want to go a little bit faster than I am. We're doing it in real time. Okay. Our left side. Okay? So start at the top. Wag the tail down. I keep hitting, okay? Wag the tail down, graze it, squeeze the abs in, okay. You really want to squeeze the ab also to prevent your lower back from dipping in, okay? Or dipping down and arching. If you want to kind of look through your little window here between your arms and just double check that you have a smooth line. Okay, or check the mirror. Okay, that was Wag the Tail. Next one is the diagonal knee tap cross extension. Another fun variation on these quadruped or tabletop exercises. Okay, so we're going to go 45-degree angle here with your knee tapping, and then we're going to cross extend that foot. Okay, so come around, tap at that angle. And what we're doing here with the tap is we want to be really intentional and take that additional ab work as you intentionally bring that knee tap to the floor. And then of course, do a really nice extension as we're crossing and extending through the back, okay? Oops. Okay, now on this one, if you want to get down on the floor with one elbow, that's fine, okay? So diagonal knee tap and then cross extension. Keep that ab sucked in completely, okay? And make that toe reach as far as possible. Get a full extension. You should be contracting this core right when this leg comes down, when the knee comes down. If you do these types of floor exercises where you do them with full contraction, with a little bit of speed, they could be tacked on as part of an actual cardio, okay, especially if you have your ankle weights on. Now the next one is the diagonal shin tap outside extension. So as before, leg is 45-degree out, but we're gonna tap the entire shin to the floor. Again, using your abs, but now we're going to extend to the outside, okay? So tap. See how there's sort of a little rock here as you're contracting? What's happening is that you either need to rock because you don't have the reach, or you're gonna get the additional stretch benefits, okay, of this position. Either way, you're getting that extra ab work. Okay, show you on this side. I'm recording a couple back to back. I'm getting sweaty. Okay, diagonal shin tap and then outside extension. Of course, the higher you go with that leg extension. Okay. Make sure you reposition as needed. Like, don't just go through the motions. If you feel like you're not feeling it, readjust, check yourself in the mirror, go through all the cues. Really stretch here. So as you try to reach that toe further out, your hips will follow along. Okay, that's actually what you want. Okay, that was it. Now we're gonna do the butterfly stretch. The trick to this gymnastic trick, okay? Doesn't matter where you're at, okay? First thing you want to do is just sort of flap your butterfly wings just to relax it, okay? Then we're going to counter that with a squeeze. So come down to where you could squeeze your shoulders in between as hard as possible. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. So your inner thighs are going to be squeezing like mad, and then let it drop. And once you're here, now we'll work on the stretch. Okay, so get comfortable. And again, we're trying to get our lower belly to the floor, not our head to the floor. So just stay wherever you are, as long as you're reaching your belly to the floor. You can press your elbows down into your knees, inside your knees, so that you get an additional stretch. You want to try to actually make this one a passive stretch. It might feel like an active stretch, so just keep readjusting. You might have to just get taller, okay? That's fine. And just hold it, relaxing to breathe normally, okay? If you can, if you have someone available to kind of push down on your lower back to mid-back area to give you that additional passive pressure, okay? And then if you want to bring your hands across clasp your toes, okay? And try to get, and as long as you're not totally rounding, if you want to drop your head in order to get that additional stretch, that works as well, okay? Butterfly stretch is also foundational as far as flexibility or yoga poses go. So do come back to that one and practice my little trick, okay, of flapping first and squeezing to allow you to open up a little further from the get-go. All right, that was the last of it. The next post is just to wrap it up, and then we get into March.